Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on NASA TV. You are getting a live feed from Ellington Field, just down the street from Houston, Texas, our Johnson Space Center. Ellington Field, that is the Gulfstream 3 aircraft on board Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken, who just landed from a 64-day mission aboard the International Space Station for the Demo 2 mission. Thank you for joining us here today. I'm NASA's Gary Jordan, coming to you from down the street in Mission Control Center. This is where we have 24/7-hour operations of the International Space Station, control teams here switching rooms during the COVID-19 pandemic. As we are awaiting for the crew to get out of the plane. They're with their families now, but we just got a touchdown of them a few moments ago, touching down 6:27 p.m. Central Time, touching down here in Ellington. Just 5 hours ago, they were in the Gulf of Mexico, splashing down off of the coast of Pensacola. Getting some great views of the crew now coming down from the Gulfstream aircraft. We're expected to hear some words from them as they get situated. In front of them is a group of VIPs. Bob Behnken on the left, Doug Hurley on the right. We should be hearing some words from them coming up here shortly.
Hey, good afternoon, and thank you all for coming today. I'm Mark Geyer, Director of NASA's Johnson Space Center. I want to thank you for joining us here today at Ellington Field for the return of our NASA astronauts after a stellar mission. Doug and Bob, welcome home. It's great to see you guys. Yes. So, of course, we were excited to see you safely splash down earlier today, but we're very happy to see you back on the Earth here in Houston. On behalf of all the employees of NASA and JSC, we congratulate you on completing your historic mission to the International Space Station. You know, many of us here today are committed to the goals of the aspirations of human exploration, but you and the other astronauts actually take the risks that make human exploration possible. I did want to mention a couple other people today. You know, in the audience, we have Kathy Leaders, who's now the new head of the Human Exploration Operations Mission Directorate. And Steve Stitch, the program manager of the CCP program. You know, today is really the culmination of an incredible amount of work by you and your teams to enable the United States to launch our astronauts from the United States. So thank you and your teams very much. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to Bob and Doug for comments.
All right, we're not going to stand right now. For those of you who have done this before, you know it's not pleasant standing for a few hours after you get back. 5 hours ago, we were bobbing around in the Gulf of Mexico, so I feel like it's pretty good that we got this far in 5 hours. But I think the biggest thing that we would both like to talk about is just to thank you can see Steve and Kathy here and Elon. You know, this has been quite an odyssey the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 5 years since Bob and I started working on this program. And to be where we are now, the first crewed flight of Dragon is just unbelievable. We said it before, just a tremendous privilege to be part of this program, to be part of NASA, and to spend 2 months on the International Space Station with one of the greatest officers, crewmates, astronauts, Chris Cassidy. It just was a real pleasure for both of us. And I'm sure Bob will talk about the spacewalks, but just to see those two work out on the International Space Station, you're not going to see anything like that again. It just was just amazing to be part of that. And then, you know, the flight of Dragon on Falcon, and then the reentry today. It's a lot to process. As I said 5 hours ago, we were in a spaceship bobbing around. making prank satellite phone calls to whoever we could get a hold of, which was kind of fun, by the way. You can send him the bill for the sat phone. But anyway, we really appreciate all of you coming to say hi and welcoming us back. It's a little bit overwhelming to see everybody here, considering the things that have gone on the last few months since we've been off planet. But thank you again for coming to say hi, and hopefully we'll be able to share a lot of this mission with you in a few months, hopefully, if not sooner. But thank you again.
Well, first of all, thank you for everybody who came out today. I know with all the challenges, everybody's wearing a mask with the situation that we're in. It's not trivial to get this many people here to try to be close and celebrate what we've accomplished. I think for both Doug and I, the thing that we're most excited about having accomplished with this mission is, it's written right on that sign where it says Launch America, and then, of course, Land America today. As we went through our years as astronauts here at the Johnson Space Center, we got to live through a big chunk of the shuttle era and a big chunk of the assembly of the space station. When the space shuttles retired, when Doug took his final flight to wrap that up, I think it was a sad day for us in the Astronauts, because there's something special about having that capability to launch and bring your own astronauts home. And we went through a lot of years without that capability, and I think we're both super proud to have been just a small part of the team that accomplished bringing those space flights back to the Florida coast and bringing that capability back to America. As Doug mentioned, we had the luxury of having just a super crew on board the International Space Station with Chris Cassidy, with Anatoly and Yvonne. They just took wonderful care of us. I can't think of anything that we could have had more in place and ready for us when we arrived than what Chris set up for us. And so we're extremely thankful for him and his work to make things look easy for us. We didn't have the full training template that was out there. We had an abbreviated flow and got to take advantage of an opportunity, if you will, to try to take care of Space Station as we accomplished this test mission. And so I think we're both really proud of that and happy that it didn't become a distraction. We were able to accomplish the test mission objectives and work through those, kind of get Dragon certified in some sense to be ready for our return home when the time came to do that. And so it all just worked out wonderfully. And so today, when we got the wake-up calls from our boys, telling us a little bit about what they were looking forward to, which was us coming home, and in Theo's case, getting a new dog. It was a wonderful morning, and we very much appreciated it. And so, again, I think this kind of comes full circle. Took years to get here. We brought the capability back to America, and we came home safely to our families. And it took a lot of people a lot of time to make that happen. And so, to Kathy, thank you for that. Of course, you had Steve as your right-hand man for the most recent history, at least, and we definitely really appreciate the hard work that you all had to go through to ensure that the contractors, in this case the SpaceX team, really could understand NASA and what we needed to be able to have in place to have human spaceflight be safe in the way that we wanted to operate it. And I think for the SpaceX team, we couldn't have asked for a more wonderful team to work with. I think, we definitely are old dogs and like some of our old tricks because it's not always because lazy. Sometimes it's because we did it before and we know an easy solution, and we try to share that with folks. And that's really, as we go forward to further activities, whether it's in low Earth orbit, to the moon, or beyond, we need to figure out the best way to share what NASA knows with the contractor team and help them be as successful as possible. And I think maybe we weren't there 5 or 6 years ago, of course, but by the time we launched and certainly by the time we returned, I think there was a very tight-knit relationship between the SpaceX team and our NASA team, and we worked together to accomplish what we accomplished. So with that, I just want to thank you all for coming out today and celebrating this this victory with Doug and I, and recognize our small part of what was accomplished. Thank you all.
Well, thanks again, Bob and Doug, and we'll see you around at JSC. And so one last time, let's thank these guys for the incredible mission they did for NASA. Thank you.
Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley providing some brief comments. NASA and SpaceX representatives present, many of whom worked directly on this mission. Behnken and Hurley are going to be boarding some ground transportation, making their way either to crew medical facilities or on their way home to be with their families for the next few days. We do have some more programming to get back to. They're live at Ellington Field. More VIPs present. You see Senator Director Mark Geyer, and here we go.
I've been told I'm not allowed to hold the microphone, and that's really hard for me to do. But I'm going to take my mask off for just a few seconds here and just say thank you to everybody who participated in this. You know, we just saw Bob and Doug, and I think all of us are going to have memories now for the rest of our lives when they launched. In fact, we'll have memories of the day that they didn't launch, and then 3 days later coming back and doing the whole thing again, not knowing whether or not they were going to go 50-50 on the weather. And then sure enough, the skies opened up and we were able to launch Bob and Doug. I want to say a few words just about what champions they are beyond just being the first crew to fly on Dragon. It goes beyond that. They knew that when they were doing this, it was a test flight. They also knew that they were going to be responsible for, conducting a lot of operations on the International Space Station for a period of months, to include what ended up being 4 spacewalks, spending that extended period of time on the International Space Station, and then flying back, and amazingly coming off the jet just right now after being weightless for the last 63 days, coming off the jet, sitting down, and doing a public event. And I got to tell you, I've never flown into space, but from that's not normally done. It's very difficult. But they wanted to take that opportunity to connect with the American people on this momentous occasion, and I can't say how much, you just can't put into words how important this was for our country to have access to space again from our own soil. So again, I know they left, but congratulations to Bob and Doug and their families. What an amazing day for the United States of America. I would also say that what we just saw is the beginning of what will be a whole lot more activity in the future. Right now, when we talk about commercial crew, we're going to go for the Dragon, we're going to go from development into operations. Of course, we're always going to learn and we're always going to modify, but making that transition from development to operations is going to be a challenge, but the NASA team is up for it. But it goes beyond that because we still have Starliner, and we need to get Starliner flying, and then we've got to get Orion flying, and we've got to get Starship flying, and we've got to get, what's that? A lot of stars, absolutely. So look, there is a lot to do in front of us, but here's what we know. We know that when members of Congress come together in a bipartisan way and they fund NASA, amazing things can happen. Right now we have before the House and the Senate the biggest budget request in NASA's history in nominal dollars. By the way, right now we have the biggest budget NASA has ever had in nominal dollars. Now, if you look at real dollars, Apollo might have us beat by a little bit. But we're heading the right direction. And next year, if we get the budget request that is before us right now, next year, we're going to go up an order of magnitude, and that is necessary. Because today we're flying into low Earth orbit, and in a few short years, we want to be flying to the moon. and not just go once or twice, but we want to go sustainably with a purpose. We're going to the moon sustainably. We're going to learn how to live and work on another world for long periods of time. We're going to use the resources of the moon in order to live and work, and we're going to take all of that knowledge onto Mars. That's what we're able to accomplish because of the bipartisan support we've had in the House and in the Senate for the budget that we have right now. And what I'm asking for our members of Congress to do is look at what we've done with what we have, and if you fund us at our budget request level, we will be on the moon. And we will be successfully on the moon with our commercial partners and with our international partners. So today was an amazing day. It was a historic day. It's been 9 years since America launched and landed from its own soil. And yet here we are. But the next step is we're going on to the moon and then on to Mars. This is about momentum. It starts today and it finishes when we put an American flag on Mars. All right, I've got the honor to introduce somebody who we are very grateful for to help us accomplish this mission. I've said it before and I'll say it again. NASA seeks to be one customer of many customers in a very robust commercial marketplace in low Earth orbit. And we want to have numerous providers that compete on cost and innovation and safety. And I will tell you, there was a moment, maybe not even a year ago, Kathy, leaders, you can tell me how long ago it was, when we had some significant challenges. We might have had a few disagreements on parachutes. We might have had maybe a disagreement on, maybe we need to change the titanium and because of its reactivity with nitrogen tetroxide. And I sent a tweet, Elon, and I know you remember this. And since we've had a number of dialogues, I sent a tweet and I said that it's time to deliver. And I tweeted it at Elon Musk. And I want to tell you, Elon, you responded absolutely magnificently, and you have in fact delivered. You have delivered beyond anything any of us would have expected. And I will also say that all of the reports I'm getting from all of the teams on Commercial Crew is that this mission went as good as we could have hoped. And we're so grateful for the team at SpaceX, the great team in NASA's Commercial Crew program, and all of the operators that helped us to get to this point. So I just want to say thank you, Elon Musk. The time is yours.
Thanks, Jim. After these great words that were spoken, I'm not sure I have much to add. There's from Bob and Doug and Jim, but I do think what this heralds really is fundamentally a new era in spaceflight, a new era in space exploration. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to have a base on the moon. We're going to send people to Mars, and make life multiplanetary. And I think this day heralds a new age of space exploration. That's what it's all about. And this is the result of an incredible amount of work from people at SpaceX, people at NASA. Hey, Kathy. Hey, so much. We're 18 years. This has been 18 years to finally fly people to orbit and back. And I really came here because I just wanted to see Bob and Doug, to be totally frank. It was like, oh, thank goodness. I think like my entire adrenaline, it was just dumped, It's like, thank God, And I'm not very religious, but I prayed for this one. So just once again, thanks everyone at SpaceX, NASA, FAA, everyone, Air Force, that played a role in this, and it's key suppliers that did incredible work. Thanks again, and I think this is something that the whole world can take some pleasure in, and can really look at this as an achievement of humanity. And there's, these are difficult times when, there's not that much good news, and I think this is one of those This is one of those things that is universally good, no matter where you are on planet Earth. This is a good thing, and I hope it brightens your day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Jim and Elon, for those inspiring words. You know, all of us are here because we believe in this country and exploring space. We believe in humanity's destiny to explore the solar system. And as was said, we are here. This is a milestone moment, and it's an honor to be here. So thanks again for coming. Thanks for everything you do for the mission of NASA and the work that we do. Thank you.
And that wraps up today's Welcome Home event. Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, the Space Dads, back in Houston to reunite with their family. Now that they're back in Houston, we want to hear from you. Any welcome home message that you have from Bob or Doug, just use the hashtag LaunchAmerica. On any of the social media platforms, send them a message, whether a video or a photo or anything. We want to hear from you welcoming Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley back from their historic missions. Thank you for joining us. Bob and Doug will enjoy some much-needed rest until we hear from them again in just 2 days. You can join us again on August 4th, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 Central, for a news conference with the crew. That concludes our coverage of Behnken and Hurley's return to Houston and welcome home ceremony. This is Mission Control Houston.